Hey, it's Rick. Welcome to the channel. I've been watching a lot of rug making videos lately and thought I'd like to try it out, so I ordered some equipment off of Amazon. A friend recently had a baby, and I thought it would make a cool Christmas gift if I made the baby a custom rug. I wanted to create her name in calligraphy, so I started by writing it out a bunch of times, refining each version until I had something I was happy with. I'm using a Pilot parallel pen for this. Once I had something that was good enough, I scanned it in the computer so I could clean it up. Working in Photoshop with the Path tool, I traced over it, creating cleaner, more accurate type, using guides to keep everything square and straight. I created a graphic pattern to fill out the negative space and gave it a little color. Since this is my first ever rug, I didn't want to make it too complicated. Once I had the artwork finalized, it was time to make the frame. At first I tried these tack strips used for laying carpet, but I didn't like them, so I decided to staple the fabric on. After I had the fabric stretched on the frame, I screwed the legs on each side so I could work at a standing height. Building the frame this way means I can break it down to store it flat when I don't need it. It also means I can create different sized frames and keep the same legs. Once the frame was done, I used my cheap Amazon projector to trace the artwork onto the back of the fabric. The only thing left to do was to start tufting. I started with the white text. I figured I'd put one color at a time and then carve it from the front as I went. I was a little too ambitious with this. What I should have done was carve each letter as I tufted them, or maybe even parts of each letter, because when they get too close to each other, it can be really tough to carve the edges without messing it up. I think I wouldn't use this fabric again. It seems to lose tension very quickly once you start working. If the fabric isn't stretched taut enough, there's a chance the gun will rip it. There is another product called primary backing cloth, and it's a gray polyester. Some tufters say it's better. I'll have to try it and find out. You first tuft an outline around the shape you're working on and then fill it in. I tried to always tuft in one direction when filling it in. If you don't, you might see a strange pattern from the front. Once I finished the type from the back, I moved to the front to bevel the edges all around it. This will create a nice embossed look when it's done. This part is by far the most time-consuming. These clippers came with the kit I bought. I decided not to bevel the beige line work. It was just too thin and I felt it would be very hard to keep it looking straight. Then it was just a matter of filling it all in. I used about 3 skeins of black yarn for this rug, maybe 1 skein of white, and about 1/4 of a skein for the beige. This rug measures about 34 inches in diameter. I did make a mistake while carving the front with the clippers and cut a hole in the backing fabric. I checked the internet for recommendations, and the one I thought most likely to work was to tuft around the hole as close as possible, then hot glue a patch of the same monk cloth to the back, then tuft through that. It seemed to work okay. Obviously, the best thing would be not to cut the hole in the first place. When all the tufting was done, I coated the back with carpet adhesive. You can get this stuff at the hardware store. A gallon bucket cost me about $40. I think I used about 1/4 of the bucket for this rug. I just smeared it into the back with a gloved hand. It makes cleanup pretty easy, you just throw the glove away. Then I cut the rug from the frame, giving myself about 1 inch all the way around. This part will get folded back over the rug and attached with a hot glue gun. I guess if you just had cut edges, this fabric would unravel pretty easily, so this step prevents that. Then I sprayed the back with spray adhesive and attached some backing fabric. This just makes the back look nice, and it has these little rubber pads all over it to make the rug non-slip. After that, I trimmed the backer to the shape of the rug with a pair of scissors. I put the rug on a table and did some more carving with the trimmers. It seems like there's always some fibers sticking out that need to be trimmed. You could do this for hours and there'd still be more. In the end, I just had to call it done. It was already Christmas Eve and I had to deliver this thing the next day. It's a far cry from perfect, but I learned a lot with this first one. I'm sure the next one will be a lot better. Well, that's it for this one. I hope you were inspired to try rug tufting for yourself. Don't forget to hit all the buttons on your way out, and thanks for watching.